Nacogdoches operates 4 historic sites that we, as part of our mission, preserve and promote the history of those 4 sites. Here in Nacogdoches, there is so much history. It was the oldest town in Texas. It was the main route into Texas. You've seen a lot of change, economic growth in the late 1800s. So a lot of history here, and thanks to some early efforts, we're lucky that a lot of these structures are still here. Efforts in the 50s, 60s, 70s are the reason why we have these sites and buildings. So we just strive to continue those efforts so we can share that history with the community. We have the Stern-Hoya House, Durst-Taylor House, the Railroad Depot, and here at Zion Hill, one of our newest sites to restore and open to the public. Now, those are just 4 of them, but Nacogdoches has several more. You have the old university building, you have Millard's Crossing, which is a whole village of historic structures. You have the Stone Fort on SFA campus. All the buildings in downtown, along with the other, we have 5 historic districts, so all those buildings are designated historic buildings and structures. And then along with that, we have historical markers all over Nacogdoches that even if the structure is not there, they mark us an important location where either an event happened or a structure was. So Stern-Hoya House was the first property that the city of Nacogdoches took on as a museum, and actually it was the first library here in Nacogdoches. But Adolphus Stern was good friends with Sam Houston. He was an immigrant from Germany, and he believed strongly in Texas independence. So he, along with friends like Sam Houston, Davy Crockett, who passed through here, he helped in those early conversations about the Texas Revolution and actually recruited some of the first volunteers out of New Orleans. The second property was the Durst-Taylor home, and it's right on the intersection of El Camino Real and North Street. So it saw a lot of change and a lot of different people who lived there. The Railroad Depot right by the tracks saw a lot of that economic growth in the early 1900s here in Nacogdoches. That exhibit talks about the people who worked on the railroad as well as people who traveled and where they were traveling to. Zion Hill, where we are today, is the newest site, like I said, that we restored and opened. It was home to the oldest African American Baptist congregation, one of the oldest African American congregations in Texas. And so this property was built in 1914. It was designed by a locally known architect, Diedrich Rolfs, but more importantly, it was kind of a community hub for the Zion Hill neighborhood, the historic district. It's, you know, the structures are important, preserving the brick and mortar building, but it's also about preserving the history and the stories that are attached to that place.